basement dwellers. Today I am working on eyes. I think I'm doing eyes today. So this is a brand new model that I'm working on. Let me just turn the music down a little bit. So this is a brand new model that I am currently working on. So she doesn't have any movement yet. So that's gonna be fun. Let's work on that. Okay. I think I've only properly meshed one eye because I'm gonna copy it over anyway. So let's see. The right side. Okay, yeah, the right side's properly meshed. Let's separate that between left and right. So we take everything that's on the right side and we make a deformer, and we call this eye right. And I want to give this a lot of divisions. I would not suggest giving it 32 by 32 if you don't have a lot of RAM, by the way, but that's what I'm going for because I am over the top with that. Okay. And then this is eye left. Temporary. And we don't need to give that a lot of divisions, that's fine. We can leave that as it is. Okay. So if we want to work on the eyes first, we go to eye open, and this is the right eye. Good morning. Oh, there we go. I had both chats on. Good morning. Okay. Also, then there's the tiers, which we'll get to when we get to expressions. Okay. So we want to go to eye right open. Let's grab everything that's supposed to be on the upper lash. Let's see. These eye folds, upper lash. Let's get the lash side in there as well. We do not want the pupil in there. The shadow here. Who's that cutie? It's Scruffy. I'm doing another model for Scruffy. I've done her model before, but this is her new model, so I'm doing this one. Okay. Let's see. So this is eye up. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to bind that. I think you can see my entire screen. You want to bind that to eye right open, a 2-pointer, and then you edit parameter, and you want the maximum to be on 1.3. At least that's how I like to have it. It could be 1.2 if you don't want it to be that much. Okay. So on the 1.3, we want to make the eyes wider. Like if you open your eyes wide, it's going to track that way. So open up the eyes. Grab this. There we go. And then I want to grab the eye down, which is this, this, and this. How are you doing today? Tired. I'm trying to be like high energy, but I am very tired. Okay. Eye down. bind that to all 3 points on IR open. And on the 1.3, we want this to go down. Like really open that eye up. Okay, and then we want to take the eye whites. We want to bind that too. And we want to make sure that that's following the line. Up as well. Make sure that's all good up here. There we go. You're trying to be normal? Yeah, basically. Redeem hydrate? Okay. I know I don't have redeems on YouTube, but I will hydrate when you say that. I think the amount of Twitch channel points hydrate costs is negligible anyway. Okay, so this opens up like that. I chose to also put the eye shine in there. And then the last thing we want in there is the eyebrow. The eyebrow is important too, because when you open your eyes wide, your eyebrows like move up with it naturally. All of the muscles in your face are connected, which means when you are working on the eyes, you might have to move the eyebrows. When you're working on the mouth, you might have to move like the nose, the jaw, the lower side of the eyes, you know? Everything's connected, so the more things you move per part, the smoother it's gonna look. But it has to make sense. I want to preface that by saying it has to make sense. Okay, that looks good. Forgot how many I have on Twitch. Want to say like 4K, but not willing to go and look. Fair. Yeah, probably a lot, I would assume. I would assume a lot. Okay, that looks good. I like the way the eye opens there. And now we want to go to eye closed. In this one, it's gonna be a little bit more complicated than just lifting multiple layers at a time. Because for this, we're gonna need to go into eye up. And we want to get the lash line, just the lash line. Okay, now 2 methods here. The first one is you could use the path deformer, and with the path deformer you can just do this. That's method number 1 and probably the easiest. Method number 2, I do not personally like deforming the texture by itself, right? I hate deforming the mesh. Just the base mesh, I do not touch it. So, I am going to create a warp deformer for this. And what we're going to do is we're going to bind that. And then control page down. And we have the temporary deform tool. And I'm going to just do this with a temporary deform tool. Because I am absolutely not willing to touch the mesh. So when we go down, we want to make sure it doesn't reach all the way down. We don't want it to touch the bottom lash. We want it to be like 3/4 of the way down. and then the lower lash can go up to meet the upper lash, if that makes sense. Looks kind of like you, tired of everything, wanting to go back to sleep. She's cute. I like her model. She's really cute. There. Also, the mouth is not gonna stay straight. I just wanna say that the mouth is gonna be smiling at the default, but I need it drawn straight so I can deform it better. That's why, like, it's drawn straight, but I will deform it into the reference on the default. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Should I have? Should I have? Let's put this in this deformer and see how that looks. No, it's too much warping. We don't want that to warp that much. Hi O5. Gonna have more sleeves done with your other models. Thank you. Okay. So what we're gonna do for this is usually I take all of the lashes into one deformer and then just move it, but maybe for this I'm gonna take the two bottom ones. The two bottom ones. And then move them like this. And then I can deform them up properly. Yeah, I like how that looks. Okay. And then for this one, it does not need to be 32 by 32. Okay. Anyway. For this one. What if I just... What if I just... no. We are going to put that down a little bit. Okay. And then we adjust. Ooh, that was not good. That was the opposite of good, in fact. Okay, I think that works. I will put that down a little bit more. Okay. There we go. Then I want to take the side lash. This also doesn't have to be 32 by 32, so we're gonna put that down a little. The more divisions you have, the harder it's gonna be on your PC. So while I love having a ton of a ton of divisions, I do have to tone it down sometimes. Okay, then I want to take the eye fold. And this one can go like all the way down. Let's say 5 by 5. This one doesn't have to be anything. And then when we go down, just let's put that up a little bit. There we go. That looks good. I like that. The eye highlights does not need to be like that either. 5 by 5. There we go. And we want to put that down like that. I think what I'm gonna do is when this is closed, I might want to just you know what? I'll figure it out. That's a problem for future me. Okay. And this one. The shadow needs to like close with the eye. Then we're gonna go to eye down. And we're gonna move this up. And I want to deform this. So that doesn't leave its place. Okay. I think that's fine. Something doesn't look quite right with the side lash. So I'm gonna need to figure that out. I think I might wanna pull this down a little bit. Nope. To the other side? No. How am I gonna do this? Oh, actually? Why is this being weird? Because here it connects, and then here it doesn't. Okay, that's better. I just had to do it manually. See, excited about tomorrow. It should be payday. Yay! And then we want to close the eye white down when the eye closes. And because the eyeball is clipped to the eye white, it closes with it. Okay, yeah, I was expecting that. I was expecting this to not be good. Okay. I have to make sure that this... Yeah, okay, there we go. That's better. Make sure that the eye white actually connects properly with the bottom as the eye opens. if I just put this here and then turn it off over here? I think that's better. Okay. Now I gotta make some adjustments. And then we want the eyebrow, if I can find it. Here it is. And we want this to move down when the eye closes. There we go. And because everything is moving together, it should already be more expressive than baseline. Okay. Now the next step is eye smile. So we take eye down. And I want to put this at 3 points. Leave the 0.5 the same as the 0.0 and only activate the smile on the 1.0. It's just a personal preference. And then we pull this up. Connect the eye whites. Push that up as well. There we go. I want to take the eye white and the eye down. We're gonna Control Shift C, Control Shift V. Okay. We're gonna have to do something about the eye up here, but that's not a major problem. There we go. Now what I want to do when the eye is closed on the smile parameter, eye up. I'm gonna grab the upper lash and the lashes. I'm gonna bind those to smile. Control Shift C, Control Shift V. Okay. And then we move down. Okay. And then we take the eye down. Copy, paste. this a little bit further down. There we go. Cool. Okay. Pull that up, pull that down. Lash sides. Definitely pull that down. Make sure that fits. And then I need the eye white. We want to fit that this way. Okay. Yeah, that needs fixing. Okay. Let's make sure that's properly in there. And it seems like it is. All right, so this is the smiling parameter, and this is not smiling. I think for the bottom ones here, I want to pull those up a little bit when she's smiling. Okay, that looks good. So we got the base done. Okay, how long did that take me? 30 minutes. It took me 30 minutes to get one eye, just the base done. All right. Now we want to do the eyeballs and the eyebrows and the eye physics too. Okay, so what I want to do is the pupil. I'm gonna grab this. And then we just move this around. Fairly simple. Up and down. Make sure that's dramatic. Because the up and down doesn't usually register very well. Okay, we can synthesize corners with that. Yes, we will be doing eye physics. Okay. As for the pupil, I want to quickly make the head X. On minus 30 to 30. Because we're not working on head angles just yet. But I want to make these parameters in advance because they are going to be important for the eyes. So when the face turns this way, the pupil actually goes this way. And this will make more sense when the head angles are actually in, but trust me. This is a trust me moment. Okay, and when she looks down, pupil goes up. When she looks up, the pupil goes down. It'll make sense. It'll make sense. Okay, then we synthesize corners on that. Okay, we can leave that alone for now. So let's grab all of this. I want to get all of this in, except for the eyeball itself. And eyeball XY. What we're gonna do on eyeball X, when she looks that way, we want to take the eye with it. Just a little bit. It'll be very subtle, but it's going to look better. Same with eyeball X. We want to move the eye up. And then we want to move the eye down. Make sure the eyebrow is fine. Okay. And that should make a pretty big difference, even though it's like super subtle. Alright, then we want the eyebrow. Let's see. Eyebrow angle. That's too much deformation. Say 15 by 15. So for eyebrow Y, we want it to go up and down. So up and down. Up further, down further. Then for angle, we're preferably just moving the front instead of the back. And then that is fine. Let's synthesize corners on that. Eyebrow form. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make a temporary deformer. We're going to deform this. And that's eyebrow form. Very simple, very quick, very easy. I want to take eye up, eye down, and eye white. And this is eyebrow angle. What we're gonna do with this is bind this to the eyebrows. And like I said, all of the muscles in the face connect. So for the eyebrow Y, we want to move this up and down. And then for the angle, up and down. And then we synthesize corners. And that's usually fine. And this is how that behaves now. And it'll look pretty good. Okay. So that's the eyebrows done. I think we should move to eye physics now. Save this. That was a different project that I had open. Ignore that. Okay. Let's see. Eye physics. First of all, IR size. And we want this to be 0, 0.7 to 1. Is eye size R. Okay. So we want the eye to get smaller and we want the eye to get slightly bigger. And this activates when you open the eye wide. Like this just tracks with your face tracking. So if you open your eyes really wide, the eye is gonna get smaller. We haven't done the physics yet, but that's how it's going to work. By the way, I have not opened the physics menu even once. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking because it means I cannot actually see what I'm doing. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm going on muscle memory right now. Okay. So, the next one is physics bounce right 1 minus 1 0 to 1. And then we say this is 2. Considering if I need to make that blend shape, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine without blend shape. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you for the stretch. I will stretch. In fact, I will get up and walk around for a minute, so I will be right back. My mute button does not work. That's great. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Hi, I have returned. Can you get me a cup of coffee, please? Didn't have any this morning. I haven't had any coffee either yet. I'm just drinking Monster right now. Thought that would be easier because I just rolled out of bed and I was like, shit, I need to stream. By the way, I changed some settings on my microphone. Let me know if it sounds clearer or less clear. I don't know. Maybe I need to actually open my microphone app. This is gonna open on my main screen. Just bear with me. It didn't open on my main screen. That is interesting. Where is it? Here. There it is. Okay. Get that out of here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can even hear the difference. Internet sounds choppy. My internet? I have 0 dropped frames. I don't think it's my internet. Is it my mic? I don't know if... I realized that I suddenly got real quiet because my mic reset. Anyway, my internet? I don't know. I have 0 drop frames. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let's grab the base. They sound lower than the background still? I just turned it up. Do I need to turn it up further? Seem fine to me. I don't know if I need to turn it up further. Because I could see that I was low for a moment. But I turned it up and now I'm like, it says that it's higher than the background right now. I don't know what you want from me. A bit. Okay. I turned it up even further. How's this? Okay, let's grab the eye bounce. We're gonna have bouncy eyes. Better? Okay, good. Okay, that's the eye bounce, synthesize corners. What I want to do for the pupil, I want to make another deformer for that. And I'm gonna do the opposite. Okay. And then we synthesize that. And that should have a cool effect on that. Just out of the gate. So. What we want to do here. Eye shine X. Let's see, replicate, and call this eye shine Y. And I'm trying to figure out which parameters I'm gonna need right now. yellow's probably part of the pupil actually, so let's put that in there. See, this is stuck to the background, so there's not much I can do about that. Like usually I like enlarge it or stuff like that, but it's stuck to the back layer. There's not much I can do about that. So the only other thing I can do here, let's see, I shine, right, bounce. Trying to think. Okay. I'm gonna try something. How about I try something? How about I try something new? Okay, so I want... I did not name any of this. It's fine. I know where it is. It's fine. I know where it is. Okay. Copy. Paste. So what I want to try is create what if I drag this down? I say this is 12 by 12, not 21. Jesus. Okay. And what if I hourglass this? Okay, trust. I have not done this before, by the way, so I'm telling myself to trust as well. Okay, and then when I do the bounce, I move it down. I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. Okay, I need to bounce this up as well a little bit. Just bounce it up a little bit. Okay. I want to see how that looks. But before that, I need to position of the eye shine. And then synthesize that. Okay. I want to see how that looks. Also, yeah, only one eye moves right now. Just bear with me. Actually, first of all, put head X and Y in here. Let's see, I need angle. Angle X. I want this to be angle 100% minus 60 to 60. Make sure we get the full scope of that. And then head X. We just kind of wiggle around, increase, turn it down a little bit. There, and now the inside of the eye moves a little bit. So it'll make more sense when the angles are actually in. So, okay, let's do this on Y as well. Say angle Y, head Y. Okay. Now, first, yes. Want to say I right bounce. I need to do the lashes bounce as well, by the way, but we'll do that in a bit because I want to see how this looks. Let's see. Don't need that. I bounce. I have one for that. Might need to tweak it a little bit, but fine. So we want that to open on position 100. I bounce. I bounce. Oh my god, that is a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. So we decrease that. I need a delay on this, so let's get that delay in. I don't like it. I don't like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the eye bounce on this one, and the bounce itself, decrease that. The bounce itself looks good. The bounce itself is fine. What I have a problem with is the eye shine, what that did. So, our shine bounce. I want to give it its own group so I can adjust accordingly. So, what I want to do... I want to get the delay in on that. Like, proper delay. I open. Position. Does that work on position? We'll find out. We'll find out. Oh yeah. That's some nice delay there. Maybe I can turn that up a little bit, make it a little bit faster. See how that looks. I like that. I didn't know so much work goes into animation. Yeah, it is quite a lot. It is quite a lot. Okay, no, I like how this looks. There's a little bit of a delay there. But it goes into the funnel. I like the funnel there. Maybe I need to make the funnel a little bit like smaller. Let's try that. Let's try making the funnel a little bit more steep. Like that. Let's see how that looks. I actually kind of like that. It's a bit of a different shape. It's a bit of a different shape, but I like it. I think I'm gonna go with that. And for this one, I are open. I want to put smile in there as well. Set this to 70 and smile to 30. And then this is what it currently looks like. Might as well get the eye shine angles in. Let's see. How am I gonna do this? I think I'm just gonna put it on the delay. I think I'm gonna keep this on the delay. Eyeball X. And we want this to be angle. At 100. I can keep that on 10, because that is a times 10 magnification. Let's see. And then eye shine. Okay. Increase. And now the eye shine is kind of following the eye around at its own pace. Then we duplicate this and we say we want this to be the Y parameter. So we change this to eyeball Y. We change this to eye shine Y. And now it's following on the Y parameter as well. And it's kind of just following around, doing its own thing. Hold on. I need to reflect that. I need to reflect that. Okay. And then we synthesize that. I thought something was off about that. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So those physics are in. And then let's say eye size right. Because this needs to be separated in left and right. Let's see. And then we add eye right open. Angle 100. Then we eye size. And that's doing its own thing. That's entirely doing its own thing. Increase output. Okay. That looks okay. And then when we open the eyes wide, okay, I like how that looks. Although I do want to turn this down a little bit. There we go. Okay. That looks good. So now we have more to do on the eye bounce. Okay, let's see. More physics. I also need to do the physics on the expressions. So remind me, I need to do physics on the expressions. This is a lot. It is a lot. But it's fun. It's fun. Okay, so you know what? Let's do this right now. Might as well. So I can just bind this to bounce. I can bind this to bounce. Maybe not. Maybe I don't bind that to bounce. I mean, technically it's already doing its own thing. I don't think I need to. I will decide on that at a later date. For now, we can turn that off. All right. So let's do the lashes. Let's see. Physics. Lash 1. Make sure we separate that between left and right. And let's just do this blend shape because I'm not sure if I'm gonna do something else with this. So blend shape to be safe. And then lash bounce 2. R1. R2. Okay. And that should be good. So I want this to be slightly subtle because this is the entire eye we're taking with it. So this is gonna be like a subtle bounce. So I want to take eye up, eye down, and eye white with this. And what we're gonna do bind this. And we move this up. And then we move this down. And for bounce 2, we take the back end of the lash and we say this goes up and then down. So for the first pendulum, we have the front end. For the second pendulum, we have the back end. And that's gonna do its own thing, but now I want to grab the lashes. And I do not know why I made 2 parameters for this, but I did, so we're rolling with it right now. Undo that. Spirit palm eyes. Let's see. And there's the lash wiggle, and now we need to do it for the other lashes too. And this is another one of those trust the process. Because I know it looks kind of dumb. That I'm zooming in this far to do physics, but trust the process. Okay. And then I want to take this lash. And we bend that. And now we bend it the other way. Okay. And those are the lash physics. So let's put those in. We save. We put those in the bounce physics. So that's a double pendulum. 1, 2, 1, 2. Copy. Paste. Paste. Okay. This is how it moves around, and then on the blink, okay, I like the lash wiggle. I think maybe we can reflect that. No, we cannot. I like the blink. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for the bounce, let's turn this down to 50%. Let's see how that works. Okay, that's a nice subtle eye bounce. I like that. Maybe turn it down even further, just 30%. Make sure it's like real subtle, but just enough that the eye never looks stiff. Okay, I like that. Let's keep that.
What do you like? Booty.
Can I please just do my stream?
Yeah.
I don't talk through your stream, do
Yeah,
I?
you do. Actually.
No, I
You
don't.
and all your friends jumped into a chat and started talking about
You jumped into our chat.
No. I started the chat.
Okay, in my server.
Yeah.
With people who watch
No.
me. Anyway, I'm gonna end my stream then.
Anyway, no. What's that?
What?
That bit.
What's
Tell
what?
me. Teach me how to doggy.
What's
VTuber.
what?
Everything.
This is a VTuber model.
No, you need to teach me everything. Every single little tab. What does everything do?
Well, these are the...
Oh, I don't have that much time. Oh shit,
Okay.
How was your stream going? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it ugly?
It was quiet.
Where's Wolf?
Wolf was here.
Where's your chat? What the fuck is wrong with you? Is that your chat?
That's my chat.
Grey with white writing in it.
Yep.
Does your eyes not scream at you?
Yep.
What the fuck am I doing?
It is in fact screaming at me, but it's fine. Okay, so I need to replicate all of these and say these are left side. I think Luna's being a bitch.
Who's a big bitch?
Okay, that's left. I shine. Okay. This one needs to be replicated to the left side as well. This needs to be replicated to the left side. Left one, replicate. Left two. Let's see. Left one. I hope my mic did not pick that up. Oh no, it does not pick up your voice at all. That's fine.
What, when I'm bad? How about when I talk like this? Right?
A little bit, but it's very quiet.
It picks up the deeper. You're coming to town with me if you ever want to stream.
Then I'm streaming all day.
How does left go right and right go left? One finger's upside down. Which way is left? Have it.
Let's see. What am I doing? You're scraping? What's scraping? There is a rabbit clawing at my feet, but...
Yeah. Luna.
Let's
Body
see.
toes.
This is I left. Select all of that. We reflect that. Eyeball X, eye shine X don't need to be reflected. I don't think head X needs to be reflected either. It's whatever. Okay. Let's do it like that. No, I don't think you do. I do not think you do. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so the only thing I need to replace in here is the face marking, which we take from item. And we put that in here. There we go. And that's the only thing that needed to be replaced. So let's see. Select all of this. And I can deselect everything on the right side. And then edit parameter. I need this to be 1.3 on the maximum. So then we select change. And we say IL open. And we're just gonna be going through this. You should give the eyes boob physics. No, I don't think I do. I don't think the eyes should have those physics. Okay, let's deselect the right side there. And then we change to eye left smile. Okay, let's turn the temporary eye off there. Change this to, see, brow left Y. Change this to brow left angle. Change. No, brow left form. They told me to enlighten you, give the eye jiggle. They have a jiggle, it's just not that kind of jiggle. But they do have a jiggle. It's not like they don't have jiggles. Eye left size. Change. This is eye bounce, I think. Yeah, okay. Change. Eye left bounce 2. We're just changing everything over right now. Eye shine left bounce. Ocular torsion. I mean, kind of. Kind of. I mean, there is a wedge that the eye shine is going through, which gives it kind of that effect. Select. Change. Eye bounce left. Change. Eye bounce left 2. This. Change lashes left 1. Change lashes left 2. Okay. So that should be all of the parameters. me just quickly check.
I have a VTuber related question.
What is it?
I understand that all VTubers do this. VTubers model eyes. Eye bounce.
Oh, I'm
Never
doing that
in
right
my
now.
entire life has my eyes bounced.
No, but it's because we don't want the model to look stiff. Is the
So
thing.
to stop the model from looking stiff, you bounce their eyes.
Yes. I mean, we bounce the tits too, but I don't hear anyone complaining about that.
Bounces,
Oh, okay. I will take your word for that.
Yep.
But I'm giving it anime bounce. Anime titties. I left bounce. So that's the left side. Now we need the right side. Duplicate. Bounce. I left open. I shine left bounce. There it is. Okay. And then we say eye size left, which is eye left open for the inputs. And eye left size for outputs. Cool. Okay. She should be fine now. Stiffness is alleviated by jiggling. The voices tell me this. You need to make a model with a hidden toggle that gives their eyeballs boob jiggle. No! Also, it's not gonna be hidden if I do it on stream. Okay, so what I can do to kind of check this is... Where is it? Eye blinking. So I can turn on eye blinking in the settings. So eye left open, eye right open. Those are the two that it's going to be using for blinking. So let's see how that looks. There we go. It's not a gigantic bounce, but it's subtle, you know? The eyes don't look stiff. Convert eyes to boobas. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Did that mess up? I think it messed up. It shouldn't have messed up. It should have been fine. I don't know why that didn't work the way I wanted it to. Let's see. This should have done its own thing. And it didn't. It didn't do its own thing. I don't know why. Oh, it kind of did. I think it's too low down. Yeah, it's too low. Okay. So. Let's put this a little higher up then. Do the same on the other side. Bottleneck that a little bit higher up. See how that looks. With a higher bottleneck. Okay. Honestly, pretty happy about that. Rig a model to make their boobs blink. Kind of want to do that. No, hold on. I kind of want to make the boobs blink. Wait, how do we do that then? Do the boobs just have like stupid physics every time you blink?
Where are all my bags?
I don't know. Okay, so I think that's the eyes done. It looks pretty good, honestly. I'm pretty happy about this. Okay, maybe we need to adjust that a little bit on the X.
Luna, stop it.
Not that one, clearly. This one. My mute button didn't work earlier, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, it didn't work earlier. There we go. That looks good. I'm happier with this now that I've adjusted it. Okay. Eyes are smooth. Get some wiggle in there. There's a bunny behind me being a bitch. He is extremely noisy.
Don't know, boy. Luna,
I'm gonna have to do the mouth as well. Only after like 10 minutes. Could you put her in there? Okay, so it took me roughly an hour and a half to do the eyes, which is honestly not that bad. But this model doesn't have a whole lot of layers on the eyes, so that's why it's not that bad. we can work on the head a bit, I think. Hide this. Gonna hide this. And then we work with just the base for now. This model does not have a whole lot of movement going on. So pull the cheek out. That should be fine on its own. So we're gonna bring the face back. Eyes a bit. So take the eyes. And I want to have more divisions there. Okay, I like how that looks, the eyes at least. Then we take the nose. And we want to move that all the way over here. The nose moves the most because it sticks out from the face. That's kind of how that works. Then we take the blush and the highlights. Increase the divisions on that. And then we want to pull that back. That looks good. I like that. And then the mouth. I think the mouth is good as it is, actually. Yeah, the mouth doesn't move much. The mouth is fine. I'm probably going to deform that when I'm actually working on the mouth. For now, that's okay. For now, the mouth is okay where it is. So I'm gonna select all of this. And I'm going to reflect motion. Let's go into physics settings. Cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, preview, cursor settings. First of all, turn this on. That's left mouse button Y, right mouse button X. Left Y, right X. There we go. And then position Y is left Y. Position Z is right Y. Okay. So this already looks pretty good. But, all right, I remembered what I was doing. I'm gonna reflect the eyeballs for the purpose of tracking. Put that on 50%. So now she looks at the camera whenever I wiggle this around. Wait, that doesn't look right. Give me a moment. That's not right. Why would it do that? Wait. Reflect motion. Okay. I'm gonna need to redo that. I'm absolutely going to need to redo that. Because that doesn't make any sense.
Have you seen my hat anyway?
I have not. Okay, and then we pull that over. And that's what it's supposed to look like. I don't know what happens. I literally do not know what happened to that, but it wasn't okay. Okay, let's take both of these. There we go. That should be better. Yeah, that looks better. Don't know how that messed up, but it did somehow. Okay. That is fine. We're gonna turn the hair off completely. Let's grab the ears. So this is ear right. We're definitely gonna need more divisions on that. Ear left. That doesn't make any sense. This is the right side. Oh. I guess confused. It wasn't named properly. Okay. Doesn't matter. Okay, then we put these in position. We're gonna be doing. We're gonna be grabbing this, the front and pushing out the front. Yeah, I don't know. And then when we come over this way, we pull this back over here. I want to take the ear back. And just squish this in as well. Just give it a bit of perspective. And then squish out.
Is that helping you at all?
Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Okay. And that's kind of how that looks. And we want to do this on the other side as well. However, it's a pain in the ass. So what I'm going to do grab all of this, copy, paste, then I want to reflect it horizontally. Is this not? It's not. It's not. Okay, hold on. Let's try that again. Reflects horizontally. I want this to be in ear L. And I want to put this over here. Make sure that lines up as perfectly as we can. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace everything in there. There we go. Replace textures. We want to reflect that. Oh, we absolutely want to reflect that. Reflect. There we go. And now we have the deformers reflected and the textures replaced. Okay, I see a problem. I see a problem. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. There we go. That looks good. Like that. However, now that I'm looking at it, the angle might be a little bit dramatic. Just on one side, though. There's a one side angle that's too dramatic, and that's this side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this. And that should fix that. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Still not entirely satisfied with it, so we're gonna pull that out a little bit further. Let's see how that looks. Okay, yeah. That's better. I'll tweak it some more if I need to, but for now, that's good. I do like that for now. Also, let's turn all of this off. We don't need any of this. We just need the head. Then for head Y, gonna go up. Up, and then temporary deformer. Let's see, perspective. So we're gonna put the jaw out a little bit, forehead in. Okay, that looks good. Then for looking down, we want to do the opposite. Grab this, pull this down, and then temporary perspective, forehead out, jaw in. There we go. Make sure we synthesize corners on that. Also, I can probably work with the shadows a bit more, so let me do that. Okay. And then face. Okay, that's better. I'm gonna do the same here though. Perspective. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull this up. Modeling, perspective, out, in. And then we pull this down. Synthesize corners on that. And then I'll have to fix that, but right now, not too bad. So we're gonna adjust a little bit. So when we look up, we want the nose to be further up. When we look down, we want the nose to be further down. That's how that works. Okay. Let me take the ears. Just okay. Perspective, and then we want this out. And down. Okay. And that should look good. I'm gonna have to adjust the ears for perspective, but it's a solid foundation. Let's take the entire face. Not quite. Let's take the head. Okay. How does that look? Honestly, not bad. I need the ears. Because when we look down, we want that to go down, and when we look up, we want that to go up. This might be too much for the amount of rotation there actually is, but this side. That should be good, I think. Synthesize corners. Okay. Yeah, that looks better perspective-wise. It is definitely too much for the amount of rotation, but you know what? We can adjust. It is so much for the amount of rotation. Hold on. Okay, a little better. Okay, I think I like how that looks. And it has been 2 hours, so you know what? I think I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this was fun. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys!